Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to take a look at the April 2023 Springbank 12 cask strength, one of Dustin's all-time favorites. This one comes in at 54.1% ABV. What we got as far as the cask maturation, Dustin?
So this one is 40% sherry and 60% bourbon. I don't remember if it said refill or not when I read it. I can tell you, for 40% sherry, this has a very nice reddish color.
Yeah, it looks like I got some cask, man.
So oaky.
Yeah, the cask did some work
I
on it.
told you.
Holy oaky.
Keith was questioning me when I said I think these might be first fill sherry.
Well,
notes.
not even necessarily sherry, oaky. That's the most woodiest Springbank I've ever smelled in my life.
Does have some nice oak.
Yeah, it does.
For a 12-year-old, I can't believe there's that much oak.
Getting that ABV, too. Dense.
And yet 54 is actually kind of on the, not low, but a little on the lower side.
You know how, like, bamboo-ish, what is that? Cavalon. Mm-hmm. It's like almost like that strong of woodiness.
Well, Keith, you know how the Springbank 15 has gotten that really dark, woody sherry note in the last couple releases? It's that kind of note coming through here. You're right. This one's, I'll be honest with you, it's nosing more woody than I remember. I haven't touched this in a week or so, and it's definitely...
Wow.
Been picking up that. I'm starting to pick up a little bit of that bubblegum note.
Yeah, Hubba Bubba.
And there's a little bit of... Now I'm starting to get the light milk chocolates coming through.
That's a lot different than any of the other Springbank 12 castings I've ever had.
This is radically different than when I first cracked it.
Yeah, it's a whiff of banana.
When I cracked
too.
it actually smelled like...
I go with the bananas.
Yeah, banana and vanilla with it. Just it's
Yeah.
I'm with you.
From those bourbon casks.
A little bit of saltiness, not much.
Every once in a while, I get a banana note, and it's a really good banana note in the Springbank. You know, I know a lot of people, when you say banana, you think young whiskey. It's a banana note, but it's not. It's something I enjoy.
With older Springbanks, and I know you all know this, you get that coconut note too that's really pleasant.
Now, one thing I am kind of wondering
Maybe
is...
it is coconut.
I mean, this is like sawdust, wood chips, like literally, like you're literally a carpenter going to work. My question is, I don't get any of the sourness I sometimes get with Springbanks, and I don't even think the sugar dough cookies is as strong as I normally.
I'm getting a little bit of that like vanilla sugar note. I'm getting a little salt, but it's very subtle.
I agree.
Because I've had this one fresh a few times, and it's actually one of the more like sweet sherry forward noses, and I mean that in a very like sweet way. But I've heard from multiple people who have the same bottle that they felt it faded after being opened. So
Really?
I'm aware that that is a risk.
We pick them on the palate, Keith. Going back for another one, huh?
Yeah, we get some interesting notes.
Or does
Sawdust, cedar trees. There is a slight, all right, the sugar dough barely in the background. Pepper, white pepper, black pepper. Some nice vanilla notes, but they're masked by all the wood and the pepper notes. Oh, no.
This is definitely the most unique Springbank 12 I've ever
I've
tasted.
never had a Springbank 12 cast strength that tastes like this. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just different. I'm trying to dissect it.
Almost a little bit of pine or something, like a pine needle.
Spearmint.
That's what it is. You're right. I messed that up. That's a good call.
I mean, either the type of bourbon cask that they use from a certain distillery, did it have like
Oh, you're thinking maybe they got some rye?
What do you think of rye?
Okay.
Well, so
Did this have like
so
a
I-
bourbon cask that had rye?
I'm getting Andy's peppermint patties, spearmint and chocolate.
Yeah, I
big
can get
time.
that. I get that for sure.
I definitely agree with you that I mean,
Oh
there's
my
a
gosh,
good bit of-
peppermint patty.
And
100%.
And then to what you were saying, Keith, I'm going to say this differently. It's very heavy European Spanish Oloroso sherry cask. It's dark, dirty Spanish Oloroso oak.
You don't really get it that.
I get bamboo. I get those notes all the time, that bamboo. I think these are really aggressive
This
sherry
is like
casks.
French oak / Cavalon bamboo. Like it's the woodiest Springbank I've ever had.
I think the 15s, if they were cast strength, would be every bit as woody, if not more. They're just not cast strength. That's part of the intensity.
Then there's a
you're
really
getting.
nice, pleasant vanilla note behind all that wood. Obviously, we know there's
it.
vanillins in wood. Man.
Saltiness. A little. I love that Springbank peat where it's subtle. My palate's a little bit missing out.
Oh, never mind.
But I'm definitely getting that.
Don't forget you.
I'm just loving this.
Light citrus notes.
Yeah,
And then
good
very
call.
barely in the background.
Another solid Springbank.
I'm loving this one, man.
Yeah, this is a good. It's different than the rest of the 12s. I know it's an anomaly, but I'm enjoying it.
They've been having a lot of fun lately. Last one, keep in mind, we only get like even. I think we get even number batches in the States. Tell me if I'm wrong here, Keith. And then the odd ones are European exclusives. So
Typically.
yeah, so they get them. They get evens too, but we don't get any of them. So
Oloroso's coming in there.
So they've been doing some weird stuff. Where like the last American batch we got was all bourbon.
Way better with water.
Yeah, I tell you what, the Oloroso Sherry Cask are showing what they can do with the water.
Way better.
Okay, so now with water, it's smelling like I remember when I first cracked it, which was that it was this super sweet, almost PX candied.
Yeah, it's a little sticky.
When I first got it, I actually referred to it as like raspberry jam.
Yeah.
I could,
And
that was not there before, but it is now with water.
Yeah, so that's what when I first cracked it. I don't know what happened to.
It got super woody.
Yeah,
That's what happened.
Yeah.
It got super woody.
You had to get past it.
Yeah.
Maybe my closet's got a woody note.
It was the it was the gatekeeper to the
He's
whiskey.
packing lots of wood.
I don't know what I'm doing over there.
Oh, another great Springbank. All right, guys, whiskey score time. Allow me. This is one of the more memorable 12s. Good mouthfeel. I like all the flavors. It comes off super oaky, which I like, but you can get past the oak pretty quick with water if you're so inclined. I'm gonna give my highest score of the day, Dustin. I'm gonna give it an 89 out of 100.
So that raspberry jam note that's coming back now that I've added water, with that little bit of spearmint, that salty oak, and then the nice little Springbank peat with that vanilla note. I'm not getting the sugar cookies as much as usual. They're probably there, but I haven't dissected it today. Mike, I love this whiskey. This is one of my favorite Springbank 12s
Yeah,
I've done.
I agree.
I'm going to give it a 90.
Ooh, okay. I thought I was on the ending.
I really enjoy this one. I can see where somebody might be noticing a little too much oak.
I like oak, buddy. You know
But
you like oak.
I feel like European sherry butts, like, I don't know why this is not like right up your alley. And I love the fact that the sherry's not so strong that I don't get the Springbank. I love it.
I tell you what, Keith, when you were talking about the Cavalon before, those 10-year-old Whiskey World exclusives, it has not quite that level of oak, but man, it's a punchy oak. Where you at as far as whiskey score, buddy?
So I'll say this. Normally, I give higher scores than Mike and Dustin. I typically, historically.
On Springbank.
Yeah.
In general.
Just
No,
in general,
yeah,
I feel
sure.
like I give whiskey scores a little bit higher than you guys, or on the same par or higher.
Sure.
And I know this is probably the second one that I've given a little bit lower. So I really like it. It got a lot better with water. Those raspberry notes and some of the like sweeter notes came through. But it was so oaky at the beginning, and I don't like oak quite as much as you do. I like oak, but I don't like it as much as you guys do. So I'm going to give it probably an 87.
All right, Keith.
You almost said 6, didn't you?
Keith,
I did.
last
I
shot
really
here.
don't like that
Last shot
kind
here.
of oak.
Just go ahead and finish it and really swirl it.
Oh, it doesn't teach you how to drink whiskey now.
No. Here's what I want to see is because when you take a bigger taste, notice how long the finish lasts and just the intensity of the finish, because that's another big selling point. On
100%. The oak is definitely going to stick with you. Oak always does.
But I also get it more than just oak.
So
I get
is it
the salty and the peatiness. But I just wanted to point out that that's something we didn't talk about, and I'm really I'm digging how intense that
refill
finish
cask.
is.
Something was like a lot of refill cask.
You can tell how fond Dustin is of Springbank. It's like someone called his baby ugly. It was right there.
No.
Well, everyone that knows the malted man cave, even though I haven't done it in 2 years, Springbank's my favorite distillery. I gush over more than
Keith
these
likes
two do.
Springbank every bit as much as I do.
Yeah.
I like this bottle more than Keith does.
I
That's
just
no
don't like
big deal.
oakiness as much as you two do. So and that's to each their own.
Yeah,
That's what.
for sure.
Thank goodness we don't all like the exact same things, or
Life would
We'd never be able to buy anything.
never be able to buy the bottles. That
Life
you
would be
get.
so boring. What do you think? Same thing you do.
But again, I love the intensity of the finish on this one too. That's something that you don't get that often in a 12-year-old whiskey. Just that is a powerful,
hated
punchy
it.
finish.
Yeah, you seemed like you hated it.
87 is not a hate score, man.
No.
All right, those are our thoughts on this April 2023 Springbank 12. You guys had a chance to try it. I'd like to know what you guys think. Dustin, until next time, what do we wish the folks?
Happy always changing whiskey drinking.
So different.
We'll see you then. Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're taking a look at the October 2023.
April.
Fuck.